Hello all, I am Jiram in a series of providing video sessions on C programming language. In my last session, I have discussed about the what are the part by function arguments. If you want the session, please subscribe my channel and like my channel for more videos. Now in this session, I am going to discuss about what are the different types of or what is meant by scope rules. What in by scope rules? What are the different types of scope rules? What is meant by scope? So what in by scope I am going to discuss about in this session. So let's start the session. Here I have written some points. First of all, let's clearly understand these points first. Then only you can understand the scope in the what are the scope and how the scope is in the C program language. Here I have written a scope. First of all, here I am writing the first point. Here, a scope in any program language is a region of the program where it is defined. That means scope means as soon as you declare a variable, suppose if I am declare a variable int space a semicolon, so the scope of that integer type variable a of integer type will be up to that block only throughout the lifetime of a program or anywhere of the program. So we have to discuss about we have to decide or we can decide the scope of that variable based on the conditions so in C program language there are the three ways there are the three ways or the three places where the variables declared in C programs we can discuss about them. The variable can have its existence beyond that variable. Suppose we have the three ways we can where we can use that variable inside of the function, outside of a function, or throughout the lifetime of a function. So in order to see that, first of all, suppose as soon as the variable created and existed, so the scope of that variable limited to that block only, or you can use it anywhere the program or through the lifetime of a program, or you can use anywhere. That means write once and read anywhere basis. So if you want to access the scope rules, we have given some different types of scope rules in C program language. First of all, here there are the three places where the variables can be declared. There are the three places where the variables can be declared in C programming language. Here are the where are the three different areas we can use or we can declare the variable. That means local variables. First one is the local variables, next one is the global variables, next one is the formal parameters. These three places where the variables can be declared. These three areas only we can declare variable, we can use variable, and these three ways are the way these three are the ways we can use variable or we can declare the variables in C programming language. First of all, here first one is the local variable. So what is meant by local variable? First of all, let's understand the definition of local variable. Local variable means inside a function or a block which is called local variable. That means the scope of that local variable is up to that function or up to that block only. Suppose I have written a specific number of statements within that block, within a block, open parenthesis and closed parenthesis. So I have declared a, suppose I shall declare a variable called int space a colon. So the scope of that variable, the scope of that local variable is up to that block only. So if you want to use or if you want to if you want to use that variable outside of the program, you get an error called undefined variable a. Undefined variable a of integer type. That means the scope of that variable is up to that block only. You don't have a chance or you don't have a permission or you don't have any accessibility to access that local variable of integer type a to the outside of that block. So that this is about the local variables. So next understand second one is the global variables. What is meant by global variable? Here the global variable means outside of all outside of all functions. That means suppose a variable is declared, that means the function is as soon as the declared the variable outside of any function, outside of any program, that variable is available, that variable is used throughout the program, and that variable is available to throughout the lifetime of a program, and that variable is from the each and every type of the program, each and every type of the function that are you are going to use, that you are going to include in a program. That is about the global variable. Next third scope rule one is the start place where the variables to be declared in C program language, the formal parameters. These formal parameters are same as local variables. Why? Because here local variables and these formal parameters we often use to those definitions in the function definition. Those are often used in the definition of the function parameters. So let's understand all these about with the help of program. Here I have written a simple program on each of these three places where we can declare the variables in C program language. First of all, let's understand the local variables with the help of program. Here I have written the 2 points. That means local variables means what in by local variable? Local variables that are declared inside a function or block called local variables. That means their scope is up to that block only. So they can be used only by statements that are inside that function or block of code. That means those variables are called local variables. Those declared inside a function or inside a variable inside a block are called local variables, and they scope up to that block only. Suppose let's understand the second point. Local variables are not known to functions outside their own. Local variables are not known to functions outside their own. So local variables up to that block only. Outside functions or any outside methods have no access, have no permission to access the variables that are inside of a function, because their scope is up to that block only. They haven't any accessibility to access those variables inside that block. So this is about the local variables. So let's understand local variables in detail with the help of a small program I have written here. Here I have written a small program on local variables. Here I included the basic header file stdio.h and kono.h. Here main method I have written the main method of I type. That means the main method I have written any value. Void means nothing. This main method has written any value. Next here I have written a two variables a comma b of integer type, and here I have written local variable declaration. This is called declaration, local variable declaration, and I have taken a C of integer type. And next I am initializing these variables. That means initialization, variable initialization is done here. Going to be here is going to do here. Here I am entered here. Here I have given a variable definition as a equal to 10, declare a equal to 10 and declare b equal to 20. That means here I have given a definition for these both to integer above mentioned here. Next I am printing these. Next I am adding these two variables a b, and the result is storing into C. I am just printing that those a b values onto computer screen. This is the small program. First of all, what you need to understand from this program is to here that I have declared the three different types of variables a, b, c of integer type, and the scope of these three variables is up to this main block only. Why? Because they aren't declared above the main method, or they aren't used by any function, or they aren't declared. The scope is up to that block only. The scope is up to that block only. Here you can observe the output of a program. Here the printf statement just simply prints the values of a b, and the c value is the result of the a b. That's why we get 30 as a result. This is the program, and this is the way. And this is about the local variables in C program language. So the scope of local variables is up to that function block only. Now let's see the program on global variables. So global variables means they are defined outside a function, usually on top of program. Next one, global variables store their values throughout the lifetime of a program, and they can be accessed inside of any function, inside any of the functions defined for the program. Suppose here global variable means they are applicable to each and every functions defined under the global variable. That means any function and their scope is throughout the life. That means their scope is lifetime of the program. That's why any function or any method, any function or method written under the global variable going to use undoubtedly and without this global variable given accessibility to the any number of methods, any number of functions under this. Why? Because the accessibility, the permission, the scope of the global variable is throughout the program or lifetime of the program. As soon as the program going to be executed, as soon as the program exists, as soon as the program is running on, the scope of that variable is on. As soon as the program gets executed, then that scope of variable is also is also exit from the scope and the value become null and print some garbage value onto the output screen. So this is about the global variables in the C programming language. So let's understand global variables in detail with the help of a small program. Here I have written a small program on global variable. Here I have written the two different types of header files, stdio.h and conv.h. Here I have clearly observe here before the main method. Here I have declare a variable in G of integer type. This is called global variable declaration. Global variable declaration of a variable done before the main method. Declaration of a variable done before the main method. This is the way global variable declared. Global variable declared in the this is the way to declare global variable in C programming language. Next, in main method I have taken under two. These a comma b are called local variable. Why? Because local variables a comma b of integer type b called as local variables. Why? Because they are declared inside the main method. That's why a comma b are called as local variables. Next, here I am giving the initialization for these local variables a comma b, and here I have initialized a equal to 10 and b equal to 10. Next here I am by using this global variable g of integer type which is declared above the main method. By using this global variable g and this is the g of integer type which is declared before main method. By using this global variable I am adding these three local variables 10 a and b. I am adding these two local variables a comma b, and just I am printing that result onto my output screen. I am printing those three abg values onto output screen. Here first of all you understand one point here. First of all here global variable g of integer type is declared above the main method, and that variable is used in the inside of a function variable declared outside of a main method, and that variable is used without any error in main method. That is the main use of the global variable. Why? Because the scope, the accessibility, the lifetime of that global variable up to that program. That's why here the variable g of integer type declared above the main method and used the main method and used in the main method and used in the functions without any error, and I get an output without any error. So this is about the global variables in C programming language. So this is the scope. So the scope is up to the program only. So next one, third one is the formal parameter. So what is my formal parameter? Formal parameters are often treated as local variables within a function, and they take the precedence for the global variables. Precedence means they come before the global variables. That means they come before the global variables. That is, in a program we can, in some cases we can encounter formal parameters as well as global variables. So the compiler first gives the priority, give the priority to the formal parameters first and then only global variables. Why? Because they are called and treated local variables. So that's why local variables within a function. That's why the compiler gives the priority to local variables first, formal parameters first, then global variables comes after the formal parameters. So let's understand a program on formal parameters. I have written here I included these two basic header files, and here I am defined a global variable int a equal to 20, given a declaration for it, and next main method start. Here I am declaring two variables a b of integer type 10 20. Next here I have taken another variable c of integer type. Just here I am just initializing it to 0 in order to store the value of these two. Next I am just printing the value of a. That means value of a in main method. This is the value of a in main method is printed as easily. You can observe on the output screen right side of your program. Value of a is printed as this way. Why? Because here I am just initializing 10 value to, that's why it printed as 10. Next the cursor goes here, by here it encounters the sum function, then the cursor directly goes here. Here I am just printing the value of a in sum, that means value of a in sum is here, value of a in sum, that means a value. What is the a value here? 10, but the value is printed in the sum method, that's why here printed as value of a in sum method, that is 10. Next the compiler goes here, value of b in sum, and value of b sum is equal 25 because here declared b as 20, but the value is printing here in the sum, that's why here I am printing the value of b in sum as 20. Next here the value I am returning the statement, I am returning the value of sum of the a plus b, that means sum of a comma b. Why? Because here my function of sum of data type is return data type is integer type, that's why I am returning the value sum of the a comma b, and here the value goes here, and finally the value of c in main, the value of c in main is printed as 30. The return value from the function is printed as last statement in my output. You can observe the output on the right side of your program. So this about the program on formal parameters. That means formal parameters means as soon as you declare the formal parameters often treated as local variables within a function, and they can take precedence over the global variables. Here you can clearly observe from this program. So in my next session I am going to discuss about what I mean by array, and what are the different types of arrays, and what is the syntax of an array, and why we use arrays, what is the importance of arrays, and here these are the topics I am going to discuss about in my next session. If you like my session and way of explanation, please like my channel and subscribe my channel for more videos, and thank you for watching one all, and thank you.